This education journey covers about 4 months after the pandemic times. Students had come to school some pros and the cons of that time. Anyway, design education always starts from 0 points, so there didn't seem any struggle for it. To help youngsters to generate an idea can be seen as a tough process. As known, an idea might be a precious treasure that cannot find even before. But students have a great opportunity like science and design education. In addition to this, they are 13 and 14 years old kids and have great imaginations. The following can take into consideration as a curriculum of STEM education for the DSTF relies on design pedagogy. If you ignore design opportunities, you miss the function of organizing the science knowledge in meeting daily life needs. Titles and context. Here are context items. Those items were designed considering StemEd Innovator's WIC vetting tools. This presentation consists of 7 main titles. The name of the drift on the carpet might sound like a science fiction journey, but it is just a design education project. It is also an adventure because it brings foresight from inside of the students, a different way of looking inside of own self. I am Gürkan Şahin, technology and design teacher. I have been trying to help my students to learn the design in many ways of thinking for a while. Framing like farming. Firstly, we should clear the mind, removing the stones. Habits, prejudice, and so on can handily be stone in the way to go to the design. Because design offers to find a distinctive way of seeing. To get such a frame, we need to turn the whole mind into starting adjustments. This means a contrary journey. Being open-minded. Removing the whole barriers in front of the mind. It is crucial to not miss anything. For this purpose, we should start with human beings. What is human? What do humans do in their daily lives? The whole design story from the Stone Age is relevant to such matters. Being aware of own environment. We need to know where we were in. For our students, their school subjects are vital environmental matters too. Observing everything. To create an idea, we need to observe everything on the horizon of the mind, like a compass, one stable and another one traveling legs. But where should I start? Start from the point where you are. Thinking of to think. Only our brain is talented to think itself. In line with this, the act of thinking has the potential to think itself. It can be seen as a self-check activity before starting with the brain. A photo from students' classroom activities about thinking. Yes, we might think in many different ways and types, and we can combine them to our needs by using our imagination. Yes, we can activate our brain for many ways of thinking. Empathy for a little bit of sympathy. Tell me about yourself. Teenager students are commonly extrovert people. They tend to express themselves. If you take enough time for asking about them, they are already ready. They have a lot to say about their likes, dislikes, hobbies, fears, and so on. Redesign your class. To activate the mind is to redesign the learning place, the place which possesses many various learning needs and activities need to be redesigned over and over again. Modular classroom desks are the most suitable units for this purpose. By aligning the desks, the classroom is handily designed for a meeting mode or grouping them for a team working mode and separating them for an individual working mode. I have an idea to solve that, but physics rules hamper my aims. Let's remove that rules. As known, it is impossible. Therefore, we have to find a way to achieve that goal. What is the main barrier? Might we divide it into a few parts? How can we solve it from another aspect? Fishing in the problem oceans. Maybe the solution would be a finding of another problem. Can a problem solve another problem? Finding and analyzing the problems. To interrogate the suspicious problem. As in the detective stories, might we investigate an answer to our problem? Defining and redefining the problems. To change the description of tools. Sometimes the whole struggle consists of the way to define it. Browsing and researching the literature. Is there any peer solution? Invent or innovate. Choose one regarding the literature. So, if there is any peer solution, the character of the project will easily turn into an innovation attempt. Solution and DSTF connection. A designer designs their way. As a designer trying to be open-minded, students can reach a well-being, the democratic stage that hosts students' voice. Inspiring ideas and suggestions. Let's get some suggestions for the others. If there isn't any inspiring solution, you need to list your expectations from your ideal design. Ideating and modeling. In design education, the ideation process has extra importance. At the first stage, it uses completely imagination to be able to think by using images. The cheapest but the most powerful method. If you have a strong mind enough, you possess the ability to achieve the whole process. To draw is a helper for your mind and a demonstrator to other people what the product seems like and function how. Innovating or inventing. Innovating means to put something new into the old, but inventing means to generate the unique. Inventing is much more close to the roots of the scientific investigation than innovating. For instance, transparent wood is an invention, but you can innovate it to meet many different types of needs, including pencil boxes, decorative window glass and its frame, some parts of the car console, and so on. Prototyping or modeling. Modeling is another way to demonstrate your idea to the audience. A model doesn't function, but it can create a notion in your audience's minds. It aims to show the features of the design visually. For this reason, it is so cheap, but a prototype might cost a fortune. Tips for STEM educators. The outputs of design education and its skills can readily use in teaching how to solve real-life problems scientifically. An educative process to give a functional body to scientific knowledge can be the most effective for the learning journey. To learn to use it, and such a designed learning process would be the most effective answer to the following. Why should I learn scientific knowledge? How can benefit from the science curriculum? Is there any scientific knowledge behind the industrial design products? Designer, scientist, and engineer, who are they? Push my thinking. If the preliminary process can keep well worked on STEM education, students can keep continuing to the next pages. It might seem like to follow a pattern. Thank you for your patience. Until this point, I have tried to explain how a design education project can follow for STEM education. Design is one of the most effective ways to use science for human benefit and the future. With my best regards.